Hollywood and Los Angeles are in deep, deep trouble. The California entertainment economy crashing, cratering, but they do not want you to know it. The legacy dinosaur media trying to hide it, not show it. Folks, we're here to blow a hole in that strategy indeed. Today we'll tell you why there are very few entertainment jobs or openings in the Golden State going down today. Hello, folks, and happy days. Welcome back. We are streaming to you from the studio located in somewhere sunny USA. And as ever, we are shining a light on entertainment in a way that will set the path for tomorrow's headlines. Today, folks, all we ask is that you consider clicking that like button. No other payment is necessary. No tuition needed. You are on scholarship simply for the fact that you clicked this video. Folks, let's get started. We've got a great panel. We've got Lorne Connor. We've got Nolan Thunder, Derek Anderson, and even Vash Sky. Here we go, folks. All right, coming to you from the Seattle Times. This is a revelation for many who have forgotten that Hollywood was not doing well, and well, it is not doing yet again. And here's the story. As Hollywood struggles, the region's economy feels the pain. Now, wait a minute. I thought Hollywood was on the rebound. Oh, but perhaps it's not. By Curtis Lee. And yes, it is from the New York Times originally, but the New York Times requires a subscription, and we have an ethical standard we hold here. The Seattle Times, however, carries this in full public display, so that's where we go for our way of having this on the screen. The struggles have become a painful, recurring storyline in Hollywood. A script supervisor visiting a food bank every other week. The cinematographer who moved to Georgia for better filming opportunities. An art department coordinator applying for an administrative job to cover rent. The economic outlook of the LA area, with a population larger than most states, has been clouded in recent years by events that have upended the entertainment industry. Market saturation led to a shakeout among direct-to-streaming providers. The pandemic shut down production. Strikes by writers and actors last year went on for months, giving studios time to explore filming elsewhere in regions that offer hefty tax incentives. When the strikes ended, workers in Hollywood hoped their schedules would finally fill up again. But for many people, things actually got worse. In the third quarter of 2024, film production levels declined 5% from the same stretch in 2023, based on a report from Film LA, the official film office of the city and county of LA, Los Angeles, the City of Angels. Paul Audley, the organization's president, said in the report that even a few months ago, many had thought they would see gains, hoping for a rebound from what he called, quote unquote, the strike effect. Instead, we saw a pullback and loss of forward momentum heading into the fall season that will make or break the year. Since May 2023, when the Writers Guild of America strike began, motion picture and sound recording jobs in Los Angeles have declined 15%. Folks, let's pause there for a moment. I want to go to Derek first on this. Derek, what I'm seeing is that the churn of entertainment, if anything, has actually increased for streaming. I'm not saying that the quality of the content is better. I think it's far worse. And I think that the Pareto principle is in much greater effect now, where fewer people know, a smaller percentage of the stuff that's being made, because the vast majority of stuff that's made now just gets lost in a sea of mediocrity across streaming. But Derek, with the increase in content that's being made, good or bad, it makes one wonder, why are jobs disappearing in California? And so, Derek, I want to ask you, do you feel that in Hollywood and in Los Angeles, in SoCal, do you feel that there's an exodus of entertainment jobs now moving across the country? And do you think, I'll make the question even more complicated, do you think that will be expedited under a Trump administration?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Look, survive till 25. That was the mantra. A lot of these Hollywood jobs wanted to, hey, we got to make it till 2025. We got to make it till 2025. We're here. And it doesn't look like it's getting any better. It's cheaper to produce overseas. Hollywood, Southern California, Los Angeles is a very expensive market to make anything, whatever you want to do. It's very expensive to make films here. So yeah, right now, I live in SoCal. I hang out with, a lot, some areas of Hollywood. It's not great. It's not great. And a lot of jobs are leaving and going overseas or going to other places. We know WB, Warner Brothers, they're setting up a DC Studios over in London. They already are doing Harry Potter there, obviously. They do a lot of, Disney does a lot of Star Wars content in the UK. A lot of jobs are not here in the United States, and then even if they are in the United States, they're in cheaper places to produce. When you're talking about Atlanta, Georgia, or sometimes maybe Toronto. I think Toronto's film market is pretty solid. Mark Wahlberg has been talking about, hey, we need to move to Vegas. We need to start putting something in Vegas. We have a lot of movement going where states are offering incentives. Say, come bring your business here, Hollywood, or, the film industry. It's no longer Hollywood, it's the film industry. So bring your business over to our state and we'll give you this incentive, that incentive. I think James Gunn shot most of Superman in Ohio. I mean, no longer is Hollywood the bedrock of the film industry. And on top of that, there's a lot of DEI clauses. Like when you're talking about getting film credits and tax incentives, you got to make sure you have 30% this, 30% that of certain DEI groups. You have to make sure that there's a lot of representation. Otherwise, you're not getting that tax credit. All right. It's similar to the way the Oscars do it, when you have to have a certain percentage of your film crew and your cast to be of a DEI style of nature. Otherwise, you're not going to even get nominated for any of these awards. So it's the same thing when it comes to the California film tax credits. So a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm out of here. Okay. We'll just go and make our movies in Atlanta. We don't have to worry about it. We can put whoever we want to put in a movie. We don't have to sit up here and do a head count and a checkbox, a list of who is working on this movie, what races, what genders, what sexualities are working on this movie. We can just make whatever it is we want to make. And I think that's right now what one of the biggest problems that Hollywood has is that they've gotten caught up in this game of checkbox bingo when it comes to the California film tax credit. And now that money, hey, I can easily make this movie in another country or in another state. And so, yeah, the film industry is starting to feel it, especially here in California. It's really starting to feel the pinch. And a lot of people are saying, you know what, let's just take our business elsewhere where it's easier to do business. California's a very difficult state to do business, but I think as long as Gavin Newsom is there, they're going to continue to have that problem.
Yeah, maybe the most difficult, right up there with New York. And what the dynamics of this are so fascinating because, let's take Elon Musk, for example. So Elon Musk had all of his companies physically located in California, although I think technically they were located in Delaware for tax purposes. And many companies do that, okay? But physically they were headquartered in California. Today, Elon Musk essentially, and I know there are technicalities to this, and Photon Empress will hold me accountable, and I'm trying to be as accurate as I can be here. But Elon Musk essentially has Tesla, for all intents and purposes, it's now a Texas company. And for all intents and purposes, SpaceX is a Florida company. I know that Texas has some stuff with SpaceX, but all the launches in Florida and all that, and some in Texas. Essentially, it's a Florida company. And now this brand new company that he started that may become the leader in AI when they unleash this Colossus supercomputer, XAI, that's powering Grok. And by the way, they plan to roll out Grok now everywhere, not just Twitter. I'm just finding this out in the last 48 hours. I did not know this. Had some people reach out to me and say, by the way, Pro, do you know that their plan is for XAI that runs Grok to put this in all the Tesla cars and to put it on your phone, and Grok will be everywhere. But anyway, that's Tennessee. That's located in Memphis now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, then you would say to yourself, Derek, all right, so the Hollywood companies, they're probably looking to do the same because they're trying to find the best economies because they want to maximize their profits. Okay, well, that makes sense. But the funny thing is, the city of Atlanta is gaining the most, I think, out of this because when they go to the United Kingdom, which is probably currently more politically aligned with them, when they go to the United Kingdom, they have laws that mean they have to reveal their budgets. And boy, they hate that. I mean, they really hate that. And then let's say that they want to go to okay, like for example, Ohio. Okay, James Gunn goes to Ohio. But a lot of these actors and a lot of these technical people, they don't want to leave California and go to a red state. And so they thought that Georgia was turning safely blue. And so they've already got Atlanta as this hub, and so they're comfortable going there. But when people ask, well, why is it that Nashville isn't necessarily going to become a film hub? Or why isn't Austin going to do that? Well, it's because those actors, and you've heard them say this before, they don't want to go to those states. They don't want to promote those states. At the same time, it's breaking the industry to stay in a place that is broken economically. Panel, anybody who wants to weigh on that, you have at it.
I mean,
all right, well, everybody agrees.
No. Well, it's absolutely wild. And I will say the DA is right. People are going, or these studios are filming in these other major locations and spots in order to take advantage of tax credits and rebate programs. This is why Gavin Newsom is proposing a historic expansion of film and TV, their tax credit program over there. I will say you do have problems like Pro beautifully pointed out, where even if you do have tax incentives and so forth set up in different areas, does that mean that the talent will want to film in those areas? I know that had happened a little bit with Georgia, actually, with one of their laws that they had passed some years ago. I believe Bob Iger was talking about it and saying, well, we might move our productions to other places. And I think eventually they did, because now you have a lot of Marvel movies filming in the UK, just like the Star Wars films and TV series and so forth are filming over there. I believe $3.5 billion worth of Marvel product had been filmed over there in the UK, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that as well. Another thing that's happening, I think, is corporate consolidation. So you'll obviously recall that Disney bought Fox, and that deal was finalized in 2019. Well, check this out. Exhibitor relations. Before Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, the studio would routinely release 12 to 15 films per year. Well, think about it. If you're producing 12 to 15 films per year, many of those maybe being in the Hollywood area, well, obviously that would generate economic activity in that area as well. This year, 20th Century released all of 3 films: The Omen, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Alien Romulus, file under a massive downgrade for theatrical. Think about the loss in terms of economic activity when you go from 15 films down to 3. And I think that's been affecting the industry as well. And it's also why I think, when you have a new upcoming Trump administration, they might not be so quick to give Hollywood the concessions that they want, especially when it comes to consolidation. We've been hearing a lot of rumors out of various outlets about certain studios getting together. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case in the second term here.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating to see. It'll be interesting to watch and see how things play out. And the one place you might not think of that I kind of consider might get a win out of this is New Mexico, because I think New Mexico is still comfortably in line politically with what a lot of these celebrities want. And I don't want to go into the Baldwin thing, but I'll just say that played out in a way that suggests to me, maybe New Mexico wants to keep their productions happening there as best they can. Just saying. Nolan, any final thoughts before we wrap this one?
No, really. I think, actually, no, I have one thing here. I am very, very curious to know, 30, 50 years from now, how we'll look back on everything that's happening now. Because, for years and years, the gold mine of entertainment and the central hub has been in a certain spot in California. Will we see a future, where we're going to see movie studios coming out of Tennessee, New Mexico, Atlanta? It'll be very interesting to, tell our grandkids about the old ways of Hollywood, much like how our grandparents tell us of how the industry has changed so much. I think it could be very fascinating to see what will be the state that will break finally shatter the barricade of that, because once it happens, I do think it's going to domino.
Yes, and my thought is, and people know this, and I don't mean to harp on it, but I really do think that entertainment will be transformed over the next decade. And I think that people all over the country are going to make entertainment, and the most creative and the most artistic people, they're going to win. And I'm looking forward to it. Again,
Cream rises to the top. Cream rises to the top every time.
Let's do it.
Yep.
You know, we must bid adieu for now, but folks, I encourage you, if you enjoyed this kind of video, well, we have plenty more and more on the way every single day. We do it for you. Check out the WDW Pro Channel and go click on videos. You can see the most recent ones and enjoy all the stuff we're talking about, and hopefully give us some feedback, because we would love to cater what we're doing for you. You are the consumer. You are our valued guest. It's how entertainment companies once upon a time treated the people who bought their stuff, and we're still doing it here. Folks, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, we always say this because we think you indeed are special and matter. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.